Hello, you are welcome to the Channel 1 Newsroom. We're broadcasting live from our studios at number 5 Ola Hansen Lane at Tesano here in Accra. I am Charles Osukumi. Coming up. Hundreds gather at Christ the King Catholic Parish for solemn Thanksgiving service honoring late Defense Minister Dr. Edward Omanibuama and Squadron Leader Peter Bafemi Anala.
We want to thank you for the honor you did, by honoring them and elevating them in their ranks. Now, I remember telling Peter that I would like to see you a wing commander in my lifetime.
Also coming up, transport, education and healthcare sectors to witness boost as government announces $2 billion investment under the Big Push agenda.
The President's Big Push agenda. The ambitious large-scale infrastructural development plan targeting education, transportation and health infrastructure, amongst others. Around $2 billion will be allocated annually over 5 years to these critical sectors as a means of increasing productivity and
Bono region recorded 24% increase in fire incidents in first half of 2025 compared to same period in 2024.
Is special about this issue is even during the Harmattan, domestic fires are more than bush fires.
And later, Accra Hearts of Oak beat Bando Hearts of Lions to lift 2025 Gbese Manche Homowo Cup. Thank you for choosing the Channel 1 Newsroom. Let's now settle for the details. And hundreds gathered at the Christ the King Catholic Parish for a solemn Thanksgiving service in honor of the late Defense Minister Dr. Edward Omanibuama and Wing Commander Peter Bafemi Anala as government assured bereaved families of counseling support, though on a voluntary basis. The service was marked by hymns and prayers as relatives, colleagues and friends reflected on the sacrifice and dedication of the departed. There is more on the following report by Channel 1 News' Daniel Sakite.
The Thanksgiving service for the late Defense Minister Dr. Edward Omanibuama and Squadron Leader Peter Bafemi Anala was attended by President John Dramani Mahama, First Lady Lordina Mahama, Vice President Professor Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman, and several high-ranking officials, including Chief of Staff Julius Debra and Deputy Defense Minister Broja Jemfi. Parish priest of the Christ the King Catholic Church, Reverend Father Ebenezer Akese, delivered the sermon, urging Christians to remain steadfast in their faith.
You may fail once, you may fail twice, you may fail 3 times. But if we don't give up, one day, that which was a failure will turn to a success story. So don't throw your hands in despair. Clasp them in prayer as you draw strength from the cloud of witnesses who surround you.
Hymns were sung and prayers offered for the bereaved families.
While on others thou art calling, do not pass me by. God our Father, this afternoon, your sons and daughters are before you with a heavy heart and yet full of hope in the resurrection. And as we thank you for the gift of their lives, we entrust these, your sons and daughters, to your care. We ask you to take hold of them, wipe their tears, give them courage in this time of difficulty.
The families of the late Defense Minister and Squadron Leader expressed gratitude to the President and the nation for standing with them in their moments of grief and thanked President Mahama for the honors bestowed on their loved ones who lost their lives in the tragic military helicopter crash.
We want to thank you for making it easy for us, because we knew you had our backs and you were there, you helped us to put our loved ones yeah. And then we want to thank you for the honor you did, by honoring them and elevating them in their ranks. Now, I remember telling Peter that I would like to see you a wing commander in my lifetime. Yeah, got it in my lifetime, but he's not there to celebrate it with me. So we thank you so much for everything you've done for us.
Minister of Gender, Children and Social Protection, Dr. Agnes Namumu Latte, in a sideline interview with the media, extended condolences to the President and the bereaved families. She added that her ministry will recommend counseling support to help them cope with the painful loss.
We do counseling, especially with the social welfare department, but that is not something we impose on people. Families have their own ways of healing, and so when they reach out to you, like trauma counseling, people have other ways, but it is something that is available at the ministry. But as we continue to engage them and the need arises, we can suggest or recommend to them, whether with a social worker or with a psychologist, because this is not easy. So it is not something that we impose, but it is available as a service, not only to this family, but to all other families that wish to access.
Ghanaians and government officials are being called upon to emulate the life led by these 8 fallen heroes. For Channel 1 News, I am Daniel Sakite.
Now, President John Dramani Mahama is set to embark on a two-nation tour of Japan and Singapore on Sunday, August 17, as part of Ghana's push to cement strategic partnerships in technology, finance, infrastructure, and human capital development while expanding global market access for Ghanaian products. Now, this was contained in a statement issued by Minister for Government Communications, Felix Kwachufosum. Now, portions of that statement reads, President Mahama will deliver an address at a Ghana Presidential Investment Forum showcasing Ghana's investment opportunities and the Resetting Ghana agenda. He will also hold a series of bilateral meetings with key Japanese partners, including the President of the Japan International Cooperation Agency, JICA, senior representatives of the Japan External Trade Organization, JETRO, and the Prime Minister of Japan, Shigeru Ishiba, to discuss trade, investment, technical cooperation, and infrastructure partnerships. Now, following his engagement in Japan, the President will undertake a 3-day state visit to Singapore. The President will visit states which will include a courtesy call on President Tharman Shanmugaratnam, a meeting with Prime Minister Lawrence Wong, participation in the Africa-Singapore Business Forum, and an address at the Investment Forum to present Ghana's reform and investment priorities and strengthen private sector linkages between Ghana and Singapore-based investors. This is still the Channel 1 Newsroom on Channel 1 TV. Let's do some other stories. The government has announced a $2 billion investment over the next 5 years under its flagship Big Push agenda to boost infrastructure development in the transport, education, and healthcare sectors. Now, this was disclosed by the Chief of Staff at the Office of the Vice President, Alex Segbefia, who also assured the people of Agotime that government is taking steps to address the township's ongoing water crisis. He made these remarks during the 2025 Agotime Kente Festival in the Volta region. Channel 1 News' Sarah Pia has more.
The Big Push agenda, which is the infrastructure flagship of President Mahama, aims to improve road networks and drive sustainable economic development across the country. To accelerate this initiative, the current administration has committed $2 billion towards critical infrastructure projects. Speaking at the 2025 Agote Mekente Festival in the Volta region, Chief of Staff at the Office of the Vice President, Alexander Segbafia, said the investment will significantly enhance road infrastructure, promote tourism and support growth in the education and health sectors. He also reiterated the government's commitment to completing key projects in the region, including the Blekusu Sea Defense Project and the reconstruction of the Hodeni Road.
We must ensure that our infrastructure is capable of catering to our industries in a sustainable manner. We can't all agree, ladies and gentlemen, that a tourist, whether domestic or foreign, is more likely to visit a place where he knows he can move around safely, feed himself affordably, and when necessary, receive reliable medical care. That is just one benefit of the President's Big Push agenda. The ambitious large-scale infrastructural development plan targeting education, transportation, and health infrastructure, amongst others. Around $2 billion will be allocated annually over 5 years to these critical sectors as a means of increasing productivity and improving infrastructure. In a recent meeting with the Volta Regional House of Chiefs, the President elaborated on his plans: the Blekusu Sea Defense Project, the completion of the Eastern Corridor Road, and the reconstruct of the Hodenu Road.
In the Agotime township, the water crisis remains a major concern. However, the government has assured the area of working to connect the township to the Adidome water project to help ease the situation.
The challenges faced by the people, as outlined by the Kumi, are fast already part of the government's larger development agenda. I acknowledge that things are far from perfect. Government hears your concerns and will not leave them unanswered. About the water issue, we will work with the Community Water and Sanitation Agency to connect the people of Agotime to the Adidome water project. You've heard from the regional minister what steps have been taken and how far that is ongoing.
Also in attendance was the Minister for Tourism, Culture and Creative Arts, Ablajifa Gomashi, who reaffirmed her ministry's support for stakeholders in the tourism industry and emphasized the need to preserve and promote Ghana's rich cultural heritage.
Under His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, the district assemblies are going to get 80% of their common fund. That kind of resource is what you and I are going to use to promote tourism locally in all the communities. And so, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, as you listen to me, I hope that if you are in the gastronomy sector, if you are in textiles, if you are in beauty, if you are in the promotion of tourism, tour guiding, and what have you, know that you have a place under the Ministry of Tourism, Culture and Creative Arts. And through the regional officers, appeal to us and we will support you to promote your work.
Well, we know that the Commonwealth Bar Council has demanded the immediate reinstatement of the suspended Chief Justice Gertrude Tokonum. Now, joining us via Zoom is Member of Parliament for Constitutional and Legal, Member of Parliament's Constitutional and Legal Affairs Committee and NP for Upper Menya Krobo, the Honorable Bismarck Tetenyako, to help us understand some of the issues surrounding this demand of the Commonwealth Bar Council. I'm grateful to you, Honorable. You're a member of the Constitutional and Legal Committee of the House. What do you make of this demand that have been made by the Commonwealth Bar Council?
Yeah, thank you, Ajiman, and let me join you to greet all our listeners and to answer the question you just posed to me. So you remember that last Friday we all gathered at the Black Star Square to bid farewell to our gallant six that we lost during the clash, and unfortunately it was that very day that we had that unpleasant news from the Association of Lawyers from the UK, or how we call them. In fact, it is very unacceptable, because what they should know is that we are no more a colony of the British. And so for a Commonwealth association to authorize our Attorney General and Minister for Justice to reinstate the suspended Chief Justice is uncalled for. Our Constitution has outlined how such matters be addressed. And so far as we are adhering to the constitutional provisions, I think the association should leave the matter for us to determine. We are capable of determining our own issues. And so I think that was a joke. We are not taking it seriously. And so wherever the suspended Chief Justice think he can seek redress, and she has gone to, I want to assure her that we have laws in Ghana. Ghana is a sovereign state, and our laws are capable of determining any legal issues that we have. And so she must exercise patience. The law is the law, and that is what she made us believe. We are going according to the tenets of our Constitution, so we are able to determine the legal questions that she's facing. Thank you.
What about the concerns they raised that her continued suspension erodes judicial independence?
It doesn't erode any judicial independence. This is the person who constitutes the Supreme Court to look at issues, and now she herself is facing such panel. Do we leave her to be in charge and in control of the judiciary whilst she has legal questions to answer? I think the best thing she should have done is to have even set aside herself. She shouldn't have waited for president or the law to suspend her. She should have resigned herself or recused herself. But since he refused to do that, now she has been on suspension. I would just want to plead with her that she should continue being, if she feels she has good case, she should just allow the law to take its own course. And definitely we will come to the determination of her fate by law and not by anybody's will.
Well, the Chief Justice has called for greater transparency. I mean, do you think the proceedings should continue to be held in camera, or why don't we just open up the process to the public, I mean, for greater transparency?
For instance, I wonder why Chief Justice of all people should be calling for such matters to be held in public. That is what the law says, that such matters be held in camera. I am still a student of the law. I am still learning. And so far as my knowledge and my ability tells me that such hearing should be done in camera. If she wants us, the whole country, to infringe upon the provisions of our Constitution, I don't think that should be from her. That should be somebody else that we can pardon for the probably lack of ignorance, but not a whole Chief Justice. So I want to assure her that nothing will be done biased against her. That is what the law says until the law is reviewed or that provision is repealed or amended. That I want to plead with Ghanaians that let us exercise restraints, let's exercise patience, and allow the law to take its own course. And at the end of the day, Ghana will be the winner for all of us.
Honorable Tete Nyako, are you not bothered that this continuous suspension of the Chief Justice would have any implications on Ghana's reputation as a beacon of democracy, I mean, on the continent, now that the international community is taking an interest in this matter?
Like I said, I don't think so, because we are not doing anything outside the laws of Ghana. I still maintain that though the law may not favor everybody, if it's against you, you may think that is not the law. But the same thing was applied to, she's not the first person to face this procedure. I think Charlotte say, we can just remember recently, also went through the same procedure. Was it held in public? I can't remember very well whether it was held in public. I think it was held in camera. And so whatever the international community is saying probably is according to the law of those states. But for Ghana, we are sovereign states. We have our own constitution. That is what our constitution provides for. And until we amend or review that portion, then I want to exercise a bit of caution to all our listeners that let us allow the law to take its own course. We agree that Constitution is going through some review. Probably those are some of the matters we might look at during the review processes, so that such matters will not be done in infringement to the provisions of our Constitution. So until that, or until then, that is what we have. And I want to insist that we go through the provisions of our Constitution that states that such matters be held in camera.
Okay, let's focus a bit on that August 6th, unfortunate August 6th tragedy. You've had some training at the Ghana Armed Forces Command and Staff College. What lessons do you think Ghana can draw from this tragedy, especially on emergency response?
You see, the Ghana Armed Forces, and for that matter, the military, is one institution that we all have trust in when it comes to expertise and discipline. So for such an issue to occur, no other institution than the Ghana Armed Forces, we are all interested. In fact, we are all interested in waiting for the report to come out, because you cannot understand that a whole helicopter belonging to the Ghana Armed Forces catch fire to that extent of killing 8 good Ghanaians. It is uncalled for. We are all pained. We are in pain, even though we have even buried them. We are so much in pain. We want to wait for the outcome of the analysis from the black box. We want to listen to the experts, what they tell us about it, because I cannot believe that it should be negligence. The military or the Ghana Armed Forces is not noted for negligent activities. And for that matter, I will advise that we should wait for the analysis, and I'm sure it will guide us into the future as to how such matters be handled.
I mean, some people say that, if illegal mining activities were not devastating our forests and water bodies as they currently are, this tragedy may not have happened. As a member of Parliament, what role do you think Parliament can play in curbing the menace of illegal mining?
Illegal mining is something we are all not in favor of. Fortunately for me, it's not happening in my constituency. But look, whether it is my constituency or not, once it's in Ghana, it affects all of us. Last, I was listening to a news report where illegal mining affects cassava. Only God knows where cassava, tomato, and pepper come from into my constituency for us to consume. So we are all against this as Parliament. We are against it. If there's a need for the laws to be amended, I think we are all ready for it. And I think Parliament is in the position of responding to the call by the executive to amend our laws so that some of these illegal mining activities will be kept. We are on recess, though. Like me, I will be the first person to run to Parliament if Parliament is recalled to look at some of these laws that governed illegal mining in the country, so that illegal mining will be a thing of the past. We are all not happy. It will be a force for somebody to say that it is not illegal mining that led to this accident. There are people who just perished, were on their way to Obuasi, a suburb of Ashanti region, to launch a program that will serve as an alternative to illegal mining, so that when we force the people to stop illegal mining, they will not be a burden onto the state, but they'll find an option to that. And so that is uncalled for. We are willing to help the executive. We are willing to help the government to stop illegal mining, especially this very time that this incident has happened to Mother Ghana.
Honorable, before you go, let's focus a bit on your constituency, Upper Menya Krobo. Now that Parliament is on recess, what major projects are you focusing on there?
Yeah, so by the grace of God and the good works of our President John Dramani Mahama, leading the NDC government, for the first time we are having a chunk of money coming to the district assemblies through the common fund. As I speak to you right now, I just got home. I had a meeting with our district engineer that we are supposed to do some cadastral planning on the land that has been earmarked for the 24-hour economy market. Throughout last week, we were in the constituency looking for lands to build schools that we are supposed to build. We were able to secure the land for the 3 schools, for the 3 cheap compounds, and then the many other things that will come on. This week, our projects have been published 2 weeks ago. I believe by the end of this week, we may be able to get more invitations so that the district assembly will take the necessary steps for us to start cutting sods for the construction of those projects. So I am in the constituencies, solidly on the ground, moving from from electoral area to electoral area. And tomorrow being Monday, God willing, if we have life, that will continue to visit our people and assure them of the good things that are coming. Our major issue now is our road network. Okay. And that one too, provisions have been made for the drip equipment. On 21st of this month, next week, we are going to train our district coordinators for the Eastern region. When they are trained and we are able to train the operators, the road network problem will be a thing of the past because we are ever ready to do all it takes to reshape our roads, to refill our roads, to put them in a better state that vehicles can come to the market square and the market will start booming. The farmers will not have their yield rotting in the farms. The market women will come to the market and able to sell their goods, and those who are here to buy will also buy, so that the economy of the local district will also start booming.
All right. I'm grateful to you, the Honorable Member of Parliament for Upper Menya Krobo, Bismarck Tetenyakum. You're still watching the Channel 1 Newsroom on Channel 1 TV. Still ahead, Bono region records 24% increase in fire incidents in first half of 2025 compared to same period in 2024. Stay with us, we have details shortly.
Hey Ghana, so you people know Miss Brother Man Small. If you knew, it's your boy. Kill them all, kill them all. But this time, I'm not only killing mosquitoes, I am killing the grades. See? This wouldn't have been possible if I didn't have the perfect mosquito-free atmosphere. Thank you, Out Insecticide. And yeah, Out Mosquito Coil. For a mosquito-free atmosphere, trust Out to... You are not serious.
Out Insecticide. So ya boy, faha.
You've seen nothing yet. This Big Brother Naija Season 10. It's 10 times the drama, 10 times the rivalry, and 10 times the game. This is certified. No zero, no minus. Big Brother Naija Season 10. Showing 24/7 on DSTV and on GoTV. Gold sponsor, Guinness.
In Ghana, West Africa, the mornings are somewhat, if not for the perfect companion. What a good day to start. Another day. It's always smiles knowing we are together.
Ooh, what a feeling. We not go, you there for family. If you not be you, then who go there? Let's go.
Work is always effective with Nasco Home Appliances. No wahala, if the sun is up, we day for your appetite. Never a dull moment to go up something chilled. Classic home appliance for the fisher folks. Good vibes only while you wait. The feeling hits very deep. Enijepa ewa Nasco fie. Nasco, bring home happiness.
Looking for a one-stop shopping destination for all things made in Ghana? Eager to experience a remarkable fair that showcases the richness, creativity, and innovation behind Ghanaian products and services? Then get ready for the This is Ghana Exhibition 2025. The This is Ghana Exhibition highlights the brilliance of Ghanaian entrepreneurs, artisans, and businesses who continue to shape the narrative of homegrown excellence. This is Ghana's biggest trade fair and exhibition, bringing together SMEs, startups, research and manufacturing sectors, indigenous corporate bodies, and local creatives in one exciting space. The This is Ghana Exhibition 2025. Come explore, engage, and be inspired by the businesses and brands that are redefining made in Ghana across every sector. The dates: Saturday the 6th and Sunday the 7th of September 2025. Time is 10 a.m. through till 5 p.m. each day. The venue is the A4 Sutherland Children's Park. For enquiries or participation details, call us on 0205 973 973. The This is Ghana Exhibition 2025 is powered by Channel 1 TV and 97.3 City FM and is proudly sponsored by MTN, EcoBank, and Side Hassle from EK Brand Consult.
Welcome back to the Channel 1 Newsroom here on Channel 1 TV. Now, the over 6,000 residents of Fete, a vibrant tourist community in the Gumua East District of the Central Region, rely on a 3-bed CHIPS compound for their basic health needs. Now, most of the residents travel long distances to access health care. Now, leaders of the community want the facility upgraded to offer a wide range of services. Our Central Regional correspondent, Akwesiado, has more in this report.
The facility initially served as a workstation for the University of Ghana's Noguchi Memorial Institute for Medical Research and was utilized for research into waterborne diseases before it was converted into a health facility. However, the Gumua Fete CHIPS compound has not seen any upgrade, though has existed for over 4 decades. What was supposed to be a maternal ward has been converted into an accommodation for medical staff. The entire facility now has a 3-bed general ward for treating all manner of cases. In its current state, it is unable to meet the health needs of residents who have to either rely on a private hospital or other health posts in other areas.
Nurse for near Dr. Fa, Obabum no Abaye Juma. On my year, your dining be a can was there by ya. I buy Babuana, a nurse for near Dr. Fobabama. A bet may be my acas.
But the community's elegant beach front attracts varied categories of tourists. Community leaders fear the facility may not be able to respond to health emergencies involving tourists and have initiated a move to expand the facility. Currently, a 15-bed male, female and children's ward is being constructed by the community. A separate 8-bed maternal ward is also under construction, and a 3-bed accommodation facility for health workers is also nearing completion.
We had to build a 3-unit bungalow, staff bungalow for health workers, so that the nurses could relocate from the maternity ward. And so when this project is completed, we would have a 23-bed facility. Furthermore, when the nurses vacate the current wards and current
government to upgrade the facility to a higher status following the completion of these community-initiated projects. He believes that would place the facility in the position to offer a varied health services to the people and tourists.
And when you look at the state of the chip compound, it doesn't fit Gumafete. Well, when you look at the population over here has been increased. So we need to add facilities to what's the existing one. We are expecting that the Ministry of Health or the government has to come in to upgrade what we have added to the existing one so that we can have a polyclinic.
This facility, when upgraded, will provide relevant and more services for the residents of Gomuafete. For the Channel 1 Newsroom, I am Akwesi Ado, Gomuafete, Central Region.
So I won't take millions of it to put a machine down without a radiographer. So we have a challenge with quacks. So I bring the machine, I don't have a radiographer, I get a quack to operate.
Masters or something outside. You are thinking about close to about 15 to 20,000 pounds. That's a challenge. For 15 to 20,000 pounds. That's a challenge. For a year. And if it's a period, you have to do it for 4 years.
Faced with these challenges, radiographers are advocating for expanded roles. At the International Society of Radiographers and Radiological Technologists Conference and the Ghana Society of Radiographers Triennial Conference for English-speaking countries, GSR President Dennis Amategahia told Channel 1 News that role expansion would improve efficiency and make care more accessible.
So the radiologist does the interpretation. Now we as radiographers are opening our scope to be able to interpret the X-ray so that the patient doesn't need to travel all the way to look for the 93 radiologists in the country.
Extending the roles of radiographers to include interpreting images would advance healthcare delivery across Africa and Ghana. For the Channel 1 Newsroom, I am Akwesi Ado, Cape Coast.
Now, the Bono region has recorded 158 fire incidents in the first half of 2025, representing a 24% increase compared to the same period in 2024. Now, the Bono Regional Commander of the Ghana National Fire Service is urging the public to adhere to fire safety precautions to help curb the rising number of incidents. The command is also appealing for additional fire tenders to boost its operational capacity and response effectiveness. Channel 1 News' Michael Sapoinfum reports.
The Bono region recorded 158 fire incidents in the first half of 2025, according to statistics from the Ghana National Fire Service. This marks a 24% increase compared to the same period in 2024. Domestic fires accounted for the majority of the incidents. Speaking on the development, the Bono Regional Commander of the Ghana National Fire Service, ACFO2, Cesaris Ado, expressed concern over the rising trend. He appealed for new fire tenders to replace the aging fleet, stressing that the current state of equipment hampers the efficiency of the service. ACFO2 had urged the residents of the Bunu region to strictly observe fire safety practices, provide a true public education campaigns in order to reduce the frequency of fire outbreaks.
Let's now head to the Ashanti region. The Member of Parliament for Kumawu, Ernest Yawanim, has raised concerns over persistent sun-winning activities in the Seche Kumawu district of that region. He warns that the practice poses dangers to road users. The following report has more.
Since construction began on the Kumewu-Efiduasi Road, sun mining has become a recurring problem on the stretch, hampering the road's completion. On Sunday, August 8, while traveling to the constituency from Accra, MP Ernest Yawanim spotted illegal sun mining activities along the Kumewu-Efiduasi stretch. He lamented that the road was deteriorating due to these activities.
As Member of Parliament, phone calls are many from about the devastation on the road. So I wanted to see at first hand near Fakwaimpa,
The Kumewu MP also stated that he has called on stakeholders to come together to resolve the challenge, which is becoming a scourge. He emphasized the need to ensure the road is preserved for the long term.
My friend, all the stakeholders, my friend DC, my friend police commander, my friend Penny for Wahana, young Fakwaimpa, or more, so assembly, I'm on permits or Muntuanian, the Fakwaimpa, the Baya, and say, Yakwa, I dream Pobia, some of the cell be Eduma or ye hear me say a bebo quine who bind, not quine and say, not Dachi, Ubima, and make us a quine really a fipet, and I say, and only idea hammy. It's mene and Penipon be sure more hackasa. Say, Neya Munamunuhano, Yampa quine part, a baby paquine so, I didn't sew, a beho quino, my quino. Aye, said ye, is it here? Now, almost my quine pa, so born on Baba Feleha, at the idea Jumana, Mabaye, na Asundri Abba.
This is still the Channel 1 Newsroom on Channel 1 TV, still to come. Hearts of Oak beats Hearts of Lions to lift the 2025 Gbese Manche Homowa Cup. Stay with us, the news will be back in a moment.
DSTV means choosing.
Amazing acting.
Face branding while streaming.
Front row at the gaming and super fanning while on the going. Winning. Binging and blockbustering. While others are white ricing, you're jolloffing.
This looks so good.
With something for everyone. Anything is possible when you're DSTVing. Start today with all sorts of packages to match your...
How may I help you today?
We'd like to open a bank account.
Sign here, sign here, sign here, and here. And now you draw direction to your house. I need your thumbprint. And I'll need your birth certificate too. No, I need the original.
A lot has changed since you banked like this. So have we. We've made it easier than ever to open an account online and bank on the go through our mobile app, online banking, and more. EcoBank, a better way to bank your way.
Sign here, and here.
EcoBank, the Pan-African Bank.
Thank you for staying with the Channel 1 Newsroom. Let's now do some stories now. Students of Pando Senior High School are appealing to governments and benevolent organizations for urgent support to improve the school's infrastructure. They say the existing facilities are overstretched and unable to accommodate the growing student population. Channel 1 News' Volta Regional Correspondent Desmond Salasiago visited the school and filed this report.
The facility initially served as a workstation for the University of Ghana's Noguchi Memorial Institute for Medical Research and was utilized for research into waterborne diseases before it was...
For years, inadequate infrastructure and lack of furniture have remained a pressing challenge at Pando Senior High School, affecting both academic work and the general well-being of students. Overcrowded classrooms, limited dormitory space, and worn-out facilities have left the school struggling to keep pace with its growing population. The situation has been compounded by a shortage of furniture, forcing many students to study and live under difficult conditions. Students of the school are therefore appealing to government and benevolent organizations for urgent support to ease the burden on the existing facilities. Some students, particularly in the boys' dormitory, are compelled to lay their mattresses on the floor due to the lack of beds. According to them, the situation is taking a toll on their stay in school and requires immediate intervention.
Lack of beds in our dormitories, and most students sleep on the floor, and which with that it can lead to outbreak of disease, which people coming back from the back house will walk on the floor, and students will still sleep on the same floor, which infections around can escalate. Inadequate beds, so most of us sleep on the floor, and then bed bags. There are a lot of people choking the dormitory, and there's a lot of heat. When it comes to the dry season, people suffer bed bags, and the furniture are not well constructed.
The headmaster, Charles Evans Apreku, confirmed in an interview with Channel 1 News that the school urgently needs assistance.
We don't have enough
classroom furniture, and 2 other logistics for the program. For us to stop that, we needed 18 classroom blocks, and then 12 units for girls dormitory and 12 units for boys. If we do that, we will be able to secure that we will be able to do away with the tracking system. Because after the dining hall, we can continue with the shift that we are running. Then other academic logistics is like furniture. We want to appeal to our old students, government, to support us, because if you have this number, it means that virtually on a yearly basis you should be adding up this piece of furniture.
To partly address the problem, the Justin Senovy Memorial Foundation, in collaboration with the PASEC 1999 year group, has donated 100 monodecks to the school as part of the foundation's launch. 2 female students have also been awarded scholarships. Julia Senovy, representing the foundation, and William Gonye of the 1999 year group explained that the gesture is to support the school in its time of need.
And we hope to build a relationship with the school and do a lot to actually uphold the values that she held with.
The foundation is giving 100 pieces of mono decks to PASEC, her alma mater, and that resonates with our values as 99. So we believe this will go a long way to bridge the infrastructure gap that PASEC is currently facing.
Students and staff have expressed gratitude for the donation, noting that while it provides relief, much more support is needed to resolve the wider challenges confronting the school.
This monodex will go a long way to help Kpando Senior High School because of the number of students that are coming each and every year. So the provision of this deck will give us comfort, and this will really help the school. So I want to just say thank you.
Provision of this decks, or we getting this decks, is going to provide a very serene and conducive environment for teaching and learning. So we are most grateful.
Being donated to students here at the Kpando Senior High School. Students and teachers say they still need more to help them in their academic activities. Reporting for Channel 1 is from the Kpando Senior High School in Kpando. My name is Desmond Salazar.
Now 2 goals in 4 minutes in the first half were enough for Accra Hearts of Oak to beat Kpando Hearts of Lions and win the 2025 Gbese Mancha Cup at the Accra Sports Stadium. Now goals from Frank Duku in the 36th minute and Hamza Issa in the 40th minute sealed the win for the Phobian club in a pre-season contest and lifted the title. Recently signed from Vision FC, Duku scored from close range off a free kick in the 36th minute for the game's first goal. The goal was Duku's first on his debut for Hearts of Oak. Issa added the game's second a few minutes later when Duku set him up and in a counter-attack, and he lobbed the ball over the Lions goalkeeper to underpin a strong display from Masoud Didi Dramani's team. Lions fared better in the second half, but their efforts weren't enough to get past Hearts' backline. The game was headlined by Gbese Mancheni Ayibonte II, the National Sports Authority Director General Yawampofo Ankara, and Hearts of Oak board member Dr. Nyaho Tamaklo. Well, that'll be all for this edition of the Channel 1 Newsroom on Channel 1 TV. Do visit our website, channel1newsonline.com, for more information on our top stories and more. You can also subscribe to our YouTube channel, Channel 1 TV, on YouTube for more exclusive videos on Channel 1 TV. You can also download the Channel 1 Newsroom app on the App Store and the Play Store. Well, I'm Charles Osukumi. Thank you very much for watching.